I don't think there is actually for OSRS.
Can we save that sound? By Liz, make a note of when that happened.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 126 of Press Any Key. I'm your host, Pan Apparano. With me, as always, my co-host,
Stone Toad.
Stone Toad. Hey, Gingy, and remote from the Catskill Mountains is Mike Burke.
All right.
You can find all of our social media linked below. You could join us in our conversation, not only in the comments, but in our Discord as well. And yeah, let's get this fucking show on the road, bro. Let's do it.
Were you trying to censor yourself there for a second?
You know what?
Like, let's get this fucking show.
You know what? I'm gonna say yes, but truthfully, I think it was just a bout of the tism. You know, it was here.
It'll sneak up on you.
You gotta watch out for that. So, do you guys still watch Netflix?
Yeah.
You gonna follow that up?
Unfortunately.
Oh yeah, Mike. What are you watching right now? Wait, what do you mean? Unfortunately, hold on.
Let me check.
What do you mean? Unfortunately?
Yeah, well, up here in Appalachia, you can't watch things after dark because then, the Wendigos will come out.
Oh, Wendigo!
You get the Amish people checking if the lights are on inside your house.
That's what they say. You're not allowed to watch Netflix after dark in Appalachia.
Yeah, that's when bedtime is.
Yeah, and you know what attracts Wendigos, right? Old reruns of Orange is the New Black.
I thought you were gonna say The Office. I was gonna have to put you straight.
The Office?
Yeah, because it's gone from there now. I just rewatched all of Seinfeld, which is on Netflix. The new season of Black Mirror. They cloned Tyrone. It's a good movie.
The fuck?
You keep bringing that up.
Well, because it was really good and it was underappreciated. It kind of snuck in out Jamie Foxx and pull up. They cloned Tyrone. They
did surgery on a grape.
That's an old meme.
But it checks out.
It's John Boyega, Tiana Paris, and Jamie Foxx.
Yo, don't
really
fucking drop Kiefer Sutherland.
He's barely in the movie.
Okay,
he's in it, but he's barely in it.
I'm just saying he's listed up pretty high, so I'd assume.
Yeah, he doesn't show up until like an hour and a half into the movie.
Liz, what are you watching through your eyelids these days, huh?
I just finished watching your favorite show ever, Manifest. I finished that actually just yesterday.
Is that on Netflix?
It is.
So bad.
It's
one of the, yeah, Mike knows what I'm talking about.
I love it. It's so bad, but I love it.
Every time I walk in the room, someone's back is turned to someone else and their eyes are all misty and they're saying the corniest
and they're looking out a window
I've ever seen. Like and it's always some lame shit that some revelation for the plot where it's like the wrench was in the toaster or something, you know what I mean?
Well,
strings swell.
So it started on like regular cable television and had like the money to back it and was good. And then they did season 3 on Netflix in one shoot, and then they did season 4 in 2 pieces. Oh, the last episode was a little out there. Like, it's an out there show.
Was it worth the wait for the second half of the season?
Just because everyone in that show is misty-eyed, I watch it misty-eyed. Like, I'm always on the verge of tears watching that show for no reason.
I respect that, because if you can turn off your brain and just kind of enjoy the ride, that's a skill that I've lost from doing this.
I feel like I've only gotten better at doing.
Oh no, I go in and like from the first 5 minutes, I'm like, this fucking bullshit. That I can't just enjoy it anymore.
And then I also just watched Who Is Aaron Carter, which was very good. I binged that. It was a limited series. It was 8 episodes.
If you go into
not Aaron Carter, Aaron's party coming.
No,
right?
Aaron, like the female version of the name ERIN.
What's it called?
I don't know.
Oh, it's not on Netflix.
You tell me.
Never mind. It's not on Netflix. I was going to say, I've been watching The Sopranos again.
Not yet.
But it's
decidedly not on Netflix.
It's not on Netflix. However, still a very good show. I just finished season 1. This will be.
That's a hot take, Pat.
This is the only show I've ever watched 3 times. So.
Damn.
It's like Steve Martin on SNL.
I guess. Yeah. Sure. All right. Anyway, so listen, all you parasites out there, I'm sorry that it didn't work out for you, but Netflix lost 200,000 subscribers, which is its first drop since 2015. Is that true, though?
I don't know. You know how deceptive they are with the numbers.
How's that possible?
Well, here's
Like
the thing. Okay,
every month they've grown.
Netflix has over
I
200
don't see why not.
million subscribers. So 200,000 is just like a drop in the bucket, like a drop in the fucking tsunami of subscribers that they have. And that is due to longevity. This isn't as bad as something like Disney Plus dropping 1.2 million like last quarter because they lost the licensing to broadcast that particular sport in that region of the world. So that population center just decided no more Disney Plus.
They're like, no soccer, not worth it.
No Disney. So
No soccer.
So well, no football, I guess.
Yeah, that's
anyway,
true.
But either way,
Stupid.
so that's why I was perplexed from the start as to why you were like shocked that 200,000 people.
I wasn't
walked
shocked.
away.
I was just happy because if you remember a couple, was it months ago
Yeah.
since they did this? I was just like, I hope this blows up in their face. And
Do you consider this blowing up in their face?
I did until you actually ran through the numbers.
That's why
and Forbes is like 200,000. I'm like, okay, Forbes thinks this is worth talking about.
I think it's indicative of like, what's gonna happen, because I think there's stream fatigue with so much shit now.
It's definitely
obviously.
Oh, you know what? I used to be the guy that was like, as long as it's good, I'll never get tired. And guess what? It got bad, and now I'm burned out.
Well, it's
like it's
still
real.
true.
It's the truth. Like, yeah, the fatigue has set in. It's just like our main topic today. I groaned when I fired up Disney
But it also
Plus,
was our
like
third
an old
topic.
lawnmower.
We started out with one thing that we were 10 minutes into, and we're like, nope, not going to happen.
Nope.
The second thing was, I don't know if I want to spend $20 on this when it just bombed in the movie theaters. I'll wait another 3 months.
Yeah.
And then we landed on our main topic tonight, Ahsoka.
Which is
We'll get into that. We'll say
yeah. But my point is just that I was not looking forward to it. Where I was like, why am I not filled with joy at the prospect of watching?
I think about so many
new Star Wars anything.
Yeah,
Like,
I think about
Right.
all the other, like for me, the one that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back was Loki. I know it's not Star Wars, but it's a Disney TV show, and I was like, this is gonna be fucking awesome. And then 6 episodes later, I was just like, I need a cigarette, and I don't even smoke.
I need a cigarette, he says. Oh my god. All right. Well, so Australians have spoken, and the results are not looking good for Netflix. A new report reveals customers are pushing back on restrictions against password sharing. Instead, users are looking elsewhere for streaming video on demand. That would be the Pirate Bay. That's where they're going.
The Pirate Bay is back.
And to no surprise, NordVPN subscriptions are through the roof.
I'm surprised they're not
about
an ad on here.
200,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So, I used to use uTorrent in high school, and then I switched over to BitLord.
We all did.
And BitLord has literally baked into their client a discount for a NordVPN subscription for up to 5 devices.
That's amazing.
So Nord 100% knows what they're doing. There's some VPNs, like I had one called Private Internet Access, which was $40 a year, and they'd get fucking mad at me. So I just jumped, no pun intended, I jumped ship, and I went to Nord, and it's been great ever since. I mean, anytime we go anywhere, like, because a lot of these theaters that we go see shows in, the Wi-Fi, I mean, the cell reception is shitty, obviously, because of all the technology and stuff in there.
Because you're in a concrete box.
Yeah. However, since I have done shows in quite a lot of them, I have the Wi-Fi, so I give it to her, and then we just, you just turn on our VPN. This way, it's like, all right, like, no one can get the information on my phone, and in case, some emergency breaks out, at least I know I'm connected to the rest of the world.
In case Jimmy Buffett dies, I'll be the first to know.
First to know. Stop the show! Stop the fucking show! It is mad 5 o'clock anywhere right now.
We gotta get to the nearest Margaritaville right now.
They're giving him a Vikings funeral. All right, anyway. So,
in the giant blender at the
Big
Margaritaville, yeah.
So Netflix is the most popular streaming site in Australia, but its dream run of growth may be coming to an end. False. New figures, released show Netflix subscriber numbers fell in June, and almost 200,000 Australians have abandoned the service over the last 12 months. And in the first time the streaming service has seen a decline in Australian subscribers.
There you go.
Dude, you were fucking hoodwinked when you said this to me. That,
Hey, man.
I was like, what the fuck? I was like, 200,000 subs is not a big deal. The U.S.
Is it a Forbes article?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bored asses can't.
It's actually
do anything else.
I just realized it's Forbes Australia because
Australia's real small.
It's .com.au. So to be completely honest, this could be an IGN situation where IGN Israel, I believe they were. They're not really affiliated with IGN.
IGN Israel.
They just
they're
pay-
run by Bill Clinton.
They're run by Al Jazeera. They are, what's it called? They just pay for the IGN like branding rights, so they can reach a wider audience.
It's like TEDx.
Yes, I think this might be a similar situation where it's like it's not really the same integrity that Forbes would normally have. It's just they've shamelessly licensed their name out to something, and somehow it got to you. And now I'm reading it. So yeah.
You might wanna hop on NordVPN if you're at .com.au.
Quick statistic: Netflix has around 238.39 million paid subscribers. That's an increase of 5.89 million compared to the last quarter.
Well, damn.
So those
they're
200,
going down
so
the
they
fucking
said they don't
tube.
care about those 200,000 people.
All right, I'm shifting.
What I love about this is that like it's so obvious you didn't vet this at all.
Yeah.
And like it's really funny is that I see every time you hear another thing it's like, wow, this is bullshit. You're like, fuck, maybe I should have read this one.
So I'm gonna shift gears. This is now. You know how sometimes I'll just bring up, hey, here's a weird thing that I thought of.
Yeah.
Here's this. I'm gonna shift gears to.
Okay.
You know how you know what advertising on streaming services is called in the industry?
No.
Mike, you might know.
No.
No, it's
don't.
called OTT. You know what OTT stands for? Over the top advertising.
Okay.
Yeah.
That term is going to become so outdated so quickly. How did they decide on that? I don't understand.
It's over TikTok advertising, Nick.
Wait,
No, it's not.
so is it just
No, I know.
just for streaming services?
Yeah, it's for.
And is it because they
basically-
play the same ad every commercial break? Because
It's over the top. Damn it! It's like, oh, we're not just doing regular cable ads or like
But that's just what it's called. Over the top advertising is advertising delivered directly to the viewers over the internet through streaming video services.
But
or
that's not
devices.
over. How is that described as over the top? Who came up with that
they're
term?
going over the top of the
okay,
government.
This is Jeffrey Katz came up with this.
It's built off the TV video hierarchy of publishing. So it's like over the air would be like, the radio. Over the linear TV would be traditional TV. Over the top, I guess, is just what the executives came up with. And they thought
it's
they were
bad.
fucking-
Nick, because
bad.
like
This is like
radio
Max.
waves only fly this high.
Mike, I
And
can't
then-
see you, so you got to explain to me
look
what.
at his picture
Imagine
frame.
one hand about medium height.
Okay, all right.
Radio waves only fly that high. Now I'm increasing the vertical height of my hand.
Whoa.
That's where
there
digital
a- He's
waves
way up
Is
fly.
there a different type of height?
Up high, height. All right, so if you were to rename this form of advertising, what would you call it? Because I think it's a dumb name.
I don't know. I'm not in advertising. All right, here. If I were to rename it,
Yeah, because cable ads are just cable ads.
stream spots.
I like that. That's instantly
Ooh.
better.
Stream spots.
Sounds like a tool to clean
Google
up
that
like
if it-
dog piss on the carpet.
Well,
Shoot it with Stream Spot.
Ain't no more piss in this carpet. I use it too.
I'm just picturing the Bissell, the little
Don't
green
tell the
machine that they
wives.
have.
Don't do that while Pat's drinking.
Just kidding. My wife is dead.
Who the hell did I hit?
She was also my sister. Anyway.
See, I saved this
So
topic.
yeah, so I'm glad this went the way it did. I really am. All right.
This is a lesson in fake news media.
Yeah.
Yeah,
honestly,
really, you were behooved and
Behooved?
Yeah.
Can you look up what I'm not going to look it up. You need to look up what that word means.
I know what it means, and it's not what you think it does.
It's definitely not that.
This is like no.
Pat, it would behoove you to look up the definition of behoove.
So we went to go get margaritas last night, and
For Jimmy Buffett?
sort of. And Pat,
Bro, I basically got tequila and just blue Curacao, and they just
Curacao.
and then they melted fucking 6 Jolly Ranchers and put it in there. There was so much sugar, I couldn't finish it.
the waitress spoke Spanish, and only one other person in our party spoke Spanish. And Pat was trying to tell the waitress that the person she was speaking to did not speak Spanish, and goes,
Which he did. This was the funny part, is that I was
Yes.
saying that the man who that wasn't what I was trying to do, goddammit. I was trying to say
Sorry. I'm
already
the guy
lost.
I was pointing at Eric and trying to say he doesn't speak English. What I said was,
"Oh, that's right. Okay."
no hablo inglés. And everybody laughed at me. And I was like, I don't understand.
You're like, I
But
said
the
something
funny
factual.
part is, no hablo español.
So we had to teach Pat Spanish conjugations, and that hablo is I cannot
I
speak.
say it all the time. I failed Spanish twice in high school. Okay.
Okay.
Like it's not a joke. Okay.
Did you not name colors?
What?
Like, you couldn't name colors in Spanish because that's what high school Spanish is.
No, dude. It was word. Listen. Is either I had a learning disability or I just didn't care. But either way, they were like,
Mike, you were learning colors in high school Spanish?
Every
dude,
year,
I
Spanish
learned what
was
fucking
like
rojo was and shit in grammar school.
Spanish was like history class. Like every year, you go in and you start with the same shit, and then you always get up to like World War II, and then you start over the same exact year.
See, this
Was
is
yours like that?
No,
It's not.
I was supposed to go into AP Spanish senior year, so I was doing real shit, but I dropped it for an architecture course because I didn't want to do AP homework over the summer.
Fair enough.
So I was
That's a
like,
great
"Fuck
point.
that."
All right.
I want to play Minecraft.
I do basically. I was like, I want to use AutoCAD.
So speaking of video games, good transition. Everybody here has been playing some video games, and we just want to talk about what games we've been playing recently. Or right? That's what we said we're gonna do.
I don't even remember.
Some games we're playing, some games we're looking forward to.
Yeah. So
The whole 9 yards.
Liz, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. I've been playing.
Ladies first. All right. Anyway, sorry, that's my Tourette's. Anyway,
I've only been playing Pikmin since June. I've played all 4 Pikmin. I am just about to finish Pikmin 4. The post game is just as long as the main game. There's like 4 main worlds that you go to in Pikmin 4. There's an additional like 2, 3 if you count this little challenge area once the credits have rolled.
it's 38 hours for a completionist run.
Yeah, it's
Oh my
really,
God.
it's very, very long, and I'm having the time of my life. But if I do not finish it this week and play another video game, I will actually die. I will physically combust on stream during. But also,
That clip will go viral.
Yes, it will.
other than that, I am looking forward to the Pokemon Scarlet Violet Teal Mask DLC coming out on September
What?
13th.
Teal Mask.
Yeah, that's like teal and iron. I can't remember what they're calling it. But the first DLC drops September 13th.
Nice.
So I am very amped because honestly, glitches aside, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are probably 2 of the best Pokemon games, and I won't hear any other slander about it. But other than that, just keeping up with my cozy games, doing the whole 9 yards there. That's about
Building Legos.
it. Building Legos, yeah. I did attempt a couple rounds of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yeah.
It didn't go well, but that's about it.
I fucking love
That's
that
usually what
game.
happens.
I fucking
Did you alert Grandpa?
love that game.
I did alert Grandpa.
My friend Justin got Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so we were playing it, and dude, it's just so fun. Like they like really like it's a great game. I enjoy it quite a lot. Like I know I was a little iffy on it at first, but now that I've like sunk my teeth into it and like specced out some characters and really gotten a hang for the controls and like the meta and everything,
You
it
no
is
longer have any skill issues.
so much fun. I fucking love it. What was the skill issue? What were we talking about?
I don't know. It's always something with you.
Gonna get hit with that canteen.
Yeah, right. It's a heavy duty one.
Pat, is that officially you going next?
Sure, I guess. The other thing I do want to play is Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh
So I'm not gonna start it until after the show that I'm in is over because I heard this game is like it's like 40
It's like
something.
having a kid.
Yeah,
It's
like,
that kind of commitment.
Yeah, it's that type of commitment. So, also it's pretty much like the closest that Dungeons and Dragons will get into PC form.
Yeah.
So,
And it's a multiplayer, right?
yeah, like you can do we could do a 4-player campaign if we wanted to do. And like you can just
How
save.
much is it? 60?
I think it's 60, but also like another reason why I'm waiting is that by the time that November comes around, that shit will absolutely be on sale somewhere. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Oh yeah. I put it on my wish list literally to just get notified when it goes on sale.
Smart.
yeah,
It's Baldur's Gate currently is $70.
Oh, dang.
it's worth it though.
Fuck
I've
that.
heard it's fucking great. Fuck that. So I did buy Last of Us Part 1 for PC. Sony had a 70% off sale this weekend, so I was like, I'll get it. Fuck it. Whatever. Just add it to the catalog of games I'll never play.
Yeah, that'll just sit there.
It'll look nice though.
It will look nice.
Who's playing Starfield this week?
Nobody.
Liz, do we have a crickets button?
I wish we did. I think that's something we do need.
Okay. Rude. Anyway, nobody here is playing, just me. I feel like this is that Wes Anderson joke. Check for swamp
I've heard
leeches.
bad things.
Really?
I've heard that it feels like No Man's Sky all over again.
I actually
Did I post
heard-
the thing in Discord that was like, I love going to the same POIs with like twice within the same hour, and all the loot and all the enemies are in the exact same spot.
Yes. So that
That's
okay.
Bethesda.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing though, is that like I fucking said for almost years at this point since this game was announced to its release that it was basically shooting themselves in the foot to not make sure you couldn't go from the fucking ground to the sky to space
To over the top.
to over the top to the mothership to wherever you got to go. The exploration, the thousands of procedurally generated planets are exactly what you say. They're just kind of just this smattering of whatever. I've heard 90% of flying is just loading screens and clicking on things. And then here's the other thing too. They made a fast travel mechanic that you don't even have to wait to get outside to use. And it can go literally anywhere. So you don't even need to fly to your destination if you want to. You can just fast travel to the other planet that you see in the solar system or whatever. So,
But you got to use a telescope.
yeah.
You got to be able to physically see it.
So, did you buy the $70 version? Because
No,
you didn't.
it's
Your
on
Game Pass. That you told me it's like 100 times, and I
Yes.
always forget because I'm so thrown off by this. If you pay $100, you could start playing it yesterday or
Thursday.
Thursday?
What
What game was like that recently too? There was another game that did that.
What?
One that we
did
played
the
that was like
early.
you could,
Oh yeah, like you get it a couple days early.
Was it Diablo?
did we do that with Elden Ring?
It was
Hogwarts.
Hogwarts.
The
Hogwarts, right? Yeah.
I got that shit early as fuck. I bought the whatever edition. Oh, actually, it's funny that we're talking about it too. I saw today that Hogwarts 2 is in fact in development.
Really?
Yeah. They haven't announced it yet, but a reliable
Did we get any
source.
DLC for the first one yet?
You ain't getting DLC for that.
No, you're not getting anything. That's
you
it.
told me.
I was certain that there would be Quidditch DLC
Quidditch.
until they released their own Quidditch game. And I was like, all right, well, that idea
Is that out?
No. It was just in beta, actually.
Gotcha.
Danny tested it.
Oh.
Yeah. And then so there's a handful of games coming out for the rest of the year that we don't got to talk about it, but there's just things I'm looking out for. Assassin's Creed Mirage. So they built a classic Assassin's Creed game in the engine that they ripped off The Witcher with. So it'll look really nice, but it's gonna play like a game from 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah, I'm looking
Okay.
forward to that.
That sounds great.
You said it, and I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be terrible."
Lies of P, which is the dark twist on Pinocchio. That
Oh.
is basically just the new type of Bloodborne. Alan Wake 2, which I don't know if you guys have ever played the first one.
You told me
You would really like it.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2, October 20th. And
You got that controller already?
and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, because I mean it's the yearly COD. I just there's a place to spend another $60. That's where
You
I'm gonna
have
play
a
it.
problem.
What? I like the Call of Duty games.
I feel the same way about Call of Duty that I feel about like any sports game franchise. It's like
Jesus Christ.
get one every 5 years. That's all you need.
I heavily disagree.
The games are all exactly the same. You play soccer every time.
Yeah, but that's not the same.
Football.
That's not the same. Okay, well, I'll put it like this. When you play soccer the same fucking way every time. When you play Call of Duty, there's map design, there's gunplay, there's kits, there's loadouts, there's a different meta.
You wait for the legacy version to come out that has all the previous years wrapped up in a bundle.
It's on the way.
I can't wait for the soccer
Activision.
fans in the comments saying there's another way to play soccer.
Yeah, right.
Well, what about you guys? What do you got going on? Mike, you want to go first?
I'll be quick, so
Okay.
I'll go first. What I've been playing.
While you say
just-
that, I'll open this up. Actually,
Just PUBG, the only thing I've played in recent months, because I am eagerly waiting for City Skylines 2, which comes out October 25th. It's the only game I'm looking forward to. It's you're not gonna hear from me for quite a while after that.
what is it? October 24th. It comes out.
24th or 25th, yeah.
It's a Tuesday.
Nick, do you know what's different about City Skylines 2? Like, what are they adding into it?
They've kind of retooled the way the maps work. You don't have to buy tiles that are right next to each other. You can buy smaller parcels of land. The money is kind of more representative. So it used to be like you'd spend $20,000 on a hospital, and it just
I don't
didn't
have
make
the camera
any
on you.
sense.
Hold on. There you go.
That's nice as fuck, right? Look at that.
Well, I appreciate the interruption.
Yeah, you're welcome. How's it feel? Go on.
It's my job to interrupt you. They've kind of retooled a lot of like city services and stuff like that. There's actually, like road repair matters, stuff like that. Pipes and electric run under the roads automatically. So there's a lot of quality of life stuff. That's really the big thing. The bigger impact from City Skylines 1 is it just didn't act like a real city. This one does. There's like life cycle stuff for your citizens. They can be in different stages of life, and what stage of life they're in affects their choices. Like young people who just started out in their career, they'll live in the city if it's got good public transportation. Older people want to live in the suburbs, but they also need a car. So it changes the way that you build. You're not just optimizing gameplay, you're building it the way you would actually build a real city. So that's what I'm excited for.
It does sound nice that they're like they're running the electric and the sewer for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like,
which it makes sense, and it's just one less thing you have to worry about. Oh, now I ran roads, now I got to run pipes under it.
yeah.
But the life cycle stuff I think is the most interesting to me, because it's like there's logic to what you're doing. It's not just like, how do I spam the game? There's different things too, where you used to have capacity for, like, let's say, for instance, death care. You would either have like a cemetery or a crematorium, and its capacity is like 250. You could get around that by just putting a bunch of different cemeteries all right next to each other, or put them all over town, where it doesn't really make sense. In a real town, you'd have like one cemetery, and it doesn't just have like an effective radius. It's just people will travel. So now you can kind of have it like, oh, I want this cemetery to service this zone, or I want this fire department to affect this district only.
Got it.
And then you can increase the capacity based on your
Municipalities.
yeah,
and such.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Cool,
So-
cool.
Yeah.
So you don't
You're gonna
control...
get a fucking match
sorry.
in the mail.
Yeah, yeah, right.
You're really gonna get like a public.
Well, since I got into City Skylines,
degree.
I've gotten really into. I think I sent you guys. I've gotten into maps of like not just topographical maps, but ones that show like
Cartography, yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah. So I bought a map of like Monmouth County, New Jersey, that's from 1955, updated by like this geological survey in the 70s, and it's got like, you know, Route 35 and Route 18 and different things highlighted, and it's hanging in my office. I'm like, what has my life become where I'm obsessed
This
with
is how it starts.
infrastructure?
Every time you guys make plans, you whip out the map and you're like, first we're gonna take fucking 18 north, and we're gonna
Dude,
head
we'll
out
be
here,
driving,
and, then
and I'm like,
we're
the
gonna
way
head
this
east across
intersection is set up is terrible. If I were to redesign this intersection, I would redo it this
The
way.
balls,
There'd
the
be
balls.
a clover leaf here rather than a trumpet.
the balls you have to have.
So you're gonna
The
become a civil
balls you
engineer.
have to be like,
Maybe.
I put 100 hours into a video game. Now
Yeah.
I can plan cities.
It is the most hours I have in any video game is City
That's
Skylines
wild.
1.
How many hours do you have?
It's the only one that has triple digits, so I don't know exactly, but it's in the triple
Rust
digits.
has to have
I'll
triple
f- oh,
digits.
Rust might have broken triple digits.
I'll
You're right.
find out. I went back to Rust for a bit.
Oh yeah,
Nick, let me tell you what.
let me tell you what.
Let
All
me
right, Mike,
tell
tell us
you
about
what.
your video games.
All right, so the main thing that I've been playing recently is old school RuneScape.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Let's
I
go.
went back down. I went back on the train. Fell off the wagon, back on the wagon, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But I saw it. I got hooked because there was this one YouTube account,
198 hours,
Just
Nicholas.
let the man talk.
200 hours. I got hooked because there was this YouTube account that I just randomly stumbled upon that people basically make this game harder than it needs to be by like they'll lock themselves and prevent themselves from going out of like a different town or a different region. This one thing that you can do is called like Tile Man mode, where it's you have to gain 1,000 XP to unlock every step you want to take. So you have to be like ridiculously intentional with what you're doing, or you're just gonna sit there grinding and doing a bunch of shit.
Why have these game modes developed, Berg? Do you think is
Because
the
because
original
people
RuneScape?
hate themselves.
Yeah, is the original
That's true.
RuneScape not like it? I have to believe that at a certain point you're like,
Are you not entertained?
Yeah, I have played this too much, and now I have to do some crazy extreme shit. It's like when you're too deep into porn. You know what I mean? Like you got to do
Just
some
like
crazy extreme shit to get the same vibe as you used
Nothing
to.
really gets me going
That's
anymore.
what I'm saying,
I
you
know.
know? So like,
Give me the feet.
pass me the feet. But
I mean, I think it's like it's one of those things that people play. I mean, it's a grind. The game is a grind. Oh,
yeah,
the game itself is like a grind. It's just like what you do. To get to like level 99, you have like, 30 skills, and to get to level 99 in anything, it takes literal hours. Like, I'm not talking about like 2 or 3, but like 20 to 50 to 60 hours per skill, if not more for other ones. So many of them are based on like having money or having like just RNG work for you. But I don't know. It's one of those things where it's just like, I'm kind of getting it in the way where you want to keep playing, and you're going to keep playing, and you're going to hate playing until you get that one drop, and then you're like, oh, this was so fucking worth it.
That's how
I'm
I feel
back.
about Rust.
Yeah. It's the same kind of like approach.
yeah. No, I get it. How does it feel? You still bullying new players? Like, hey kid,
Of course.
come to the forbidden forest or wherever the fuck,
The wilderness.
the wilderness, and I'll get you some good loot. And then you take them out there and you just fucking destroy them, and then you just take all the stuff
Yeah.
that they got from their new character. Or what you do is you let them get some quests under them first, and then
Yeah.
you take them out
Yeah.
there. And then
There's
they're
there's like,
I'm
a
ready
massive
to get fucking jumped by 4 people on the same team.
Yep.
press any key does
There's
not
a-
condone online bullying.
We can
But I
condone
do.
griefing though.
Yeah, griefing is fine. Also, cyberbullying isn't real. Anyway, so
It's just bullying.
But,
it's just bullying.
I know. But there's so much like crazy meta about the game now. Like, when you're like 13 playing this game, you're not like trying to like min-max everything, and like now the level of meta is ridiculous.
now Mike's on Adderall.
Yeah, this like I'm deep in the fucking like, I'm in the hole with this one.
I'm in the hole.
Mike's in a K-hole right now playing
I'm in an
RuneScape.
OSRS hole.
Mike, what are you playing as right now in RuneScape?
I'm just doing a main account where you're just kind of like progressing through and doing whatever. But mage is my highest skill right now.
Got it. Okay.
I'm trying to get range up a little bit higher so I can go do the fight caves and I can get the fucking lava cape or the fire cape, which looks cool.
Yeah.
The
just
Domino's
got the whip.
lava crunch cake.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's just delicious, melty patty chocolate on your back.
You got the whip, a cool car.
I got the whip. Yeah, I wish. No, and I remember like wanting that so bad when I was 13 and it cost like 2 million coins and I could never make any money. And now I've like
such thing as microtransactions.
I don't think there is actually for OSRS.
Can we save that sound by Liz? Make a note of when that happened.
All right.
But I got 2 other games that I'm looking forward to playing when I'm out of this K-hole.
Oh yeah, what's that?
First one is Sea of Stars, which is like it's like a turn-based RPG.
Oh right.
It just came out end of August, like literally 2-3 days ago or something like that. But it looks like all of those like old Metal Slug games, like the level of like pixel animation. And,
yeah, it does.
It's really nice looking like graphics and animation, and it's turn-based. It's getting like super positive reviews. Yeah. Everybody I see that like plays a lot of similar games has been just like into this a lot, and I'm constantly am seeing it get pushed out on content.
I did hear that this was getting very good
awesome.
reviews.
Yeah, and it's like it'll play like it says it's like inspired by all the greats, so it's like a Chrono Trigger kind of game, like a Final Fantasy type game. And then the other one is this Holston game, which I think is still in beta. You can download the demo on Steam, but what's really cool, I think Pat, like this would be the combination of us in a game, because there's like zombie fighting, kind of psychological horror. There's isometric top-down view for things, but when you pull out your gun, it switches to like a third-person kind of almost like Resident Evil type thing. It's just such a cool. I don't know if you have it pulled up on the screen.
Yeah,
it's just
I
like
do.
the flip between like isometric gameplay.
Oh what? Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
I haven't seen a game do this basically.
It'd be cool if it was like that the entire time.
It would be cool, but
not like this.
I just love the way it looks. I think the style is great. I don't know much about it. Like I said, you can download the demo on Steam, but I'll probably check that out soon.
Damn, Mike, did you check out that game that I told you about the other day?
I haven't played it yet, but I have it I have it on my Steam wish list.
Are you gonna play the new Mario game? Super Mario
I don't
Bros.
know.
Wonder?
I like the main Mario games like that. I'm really not, or like I'm, the ones that feel like a release that's a little more like geared for kids.
Yeah.
I generally don't like to play those games. I don't think they're super fun. But if you give me like another Mario Odyssey or like one of those kind of games, I'll play that in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, have you guys seen this game that's come out recently? It's called Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun. So
cool.
There's these new things. There's these new things, new genre of games that are emerging called boomer shooters. And so literally modern day devs are making games in the style of like 90s shooters for PC, like old school Doom or Quake.
Yeah.
And they're implementing elements from like, modern shooters such as like sprinting or, being able to look up or just having multiple weapons and power-ups and stuff. But like I fucking love the original Doom games. So this is right up my alley. I just haven't look at that. Look at the way the fucking enemies die. And I love the way that the bodies always are facing you a certain direction, because everything's always pixelated. I'd like to see some. Oh, that guy was about to get murked, wasn't he? Oh, look at that! Look at the way
this is awesome. Like the reason I love pixel graphics and pixel games and like games that look retro, just honestly for like the feel of it, and like this could be a modern game. Like you could just
look at that. Look at the way the enemies die.
But I want to play this game so much more, literally just from the art aesthetic.
Oh yeah, hold on. I want to see. I want to get a.
Do they have like a boss or something?
I'm trying to find. Oh, here we go. Yeah, yeah. Look at that. Look at the way the enemies die, and like, like I said, I love how the bodies stay facing you in a certain direction as you turn around.
Like classics,
like
yeah.
classic Doom.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. It sucks that we have to resort to things like this to get good shooter games now, but whatever.
Well, it's
fine.
it's cutting out all the bullshit, Like if you have rushed game dev timelines and everything, like graphics and graphical glitches are gonna happen. But like making something in this engine, I think you're gonna have less of that kind of like problem.
Yeah, you're gonna have less of that that jank,
That jank, as they call it.
That jank.
I have my playtime hours if you want to hear them.
Okay.
I took that whole time to log into my Steam account. I was actually wrong. 7 Days to Die, 280.
Oh fuck, 280. Damn, that's a lot.
City
dude.
Skylines, 198.
Yeah.
So quite a ways to go. And then what did we say? Rust.
Rust is probably 110.
Rust 215.
Rust is 215. Damn.
Yeah, so it's up there as well. So the important information for your everyday life.
Okay.
Thank you.
You guys want to talk main topic now?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just curious now to find out what my hours are in games. I know that the only one
Well,
over.
I guess we'll find out at a different time.
Yeah,
what a fun follow-up activity.
Yeah. Anyway,
Hogwarts
okay.
Legacy, 87 hours.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
However, I think the hours on that game are kind of fucked because my Steam was giving me more time than my hours in game tells me. I don't know what's up with
it's
that.
the menus and stuff.
Yeah.
Like stuff that is not actual gameplay.
Oh, I guess so.
Loading, boot time, and stuff like that.
I guess I didn't think about it like that.
Stardew Valley, 228 hours, and that's only on
There she goes.
PC.
Yeah.
What the fuck? All right. Anyway.
There she goes.
Okay. So we watched the first 3 episodes of Ahsoka.
You are so not invited to my bat mitzvah.
Yeah.
That's what we started out with, and then we realized this is not
turned it
our
off.
speed. I also turned it off. Pat, you made it further
I'm so
than me.
upset. I
Yeah.
didn't get to see any of it.
It's just like it's
just
a kids
not-
movie.
it's just not-
I don't know. You when we talked about it, you were like, "Oh, I heard good things about it." I'm like,
I
I don't
did.
know where you got
I
those. If
just
you talk to
don't-
13-year-olds,
Well, that's the thing. I don't think it's for. It's
No,
not
it's not for
us.
us.
No,
Not for
so
us.
I was like, "Fuck this." So we watched the first 3 episodes of Ahsoka, which is the new Star Wars Disney Plus streaming series, and I'm just being honest with everybody. I could barely get through this.
really?
I was genuinely uninterested by anything the characters were doing. I was bored. I was unengaged, and I did all that I could to stay awake, but I still fell asleep.
I did fall asleep in episode 3.
and had to pick up, which is weird because I think episode 3 was the most engaging out of them all. And here's what I'm just gonna say real quick. I get that this is better.
Put the knife down.
No, I get that this is better than most of the shit that Disney has put out in a while. It's still not good though. And it's pretty evident that this is another attempt at let's have a product that meanders for months so we can try and sell toys. Because not only do I think the writing is still that childish Disney, like they obviously did not think this through. I just think that it lacks all 3 episodes. I could give a shit about any of these characters. I don't care.
Well,
the other
that's
thing is that
that's
you got to
the
watch
big
2 series
problem.
before this too to get what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, that's the thing is they expect you to already have an attachment to these characters, but it's like I'm a big Star Wars fan. I have not seen Rebels.
Yes, exactly.
So I did see a lot of Clone Wars, but the fact that they make so many of these characters that are brand new to many of the viewers, like you don't really give them anything to work with.
Yes.
That's a detraction.
Yeah.
I do have positive things to say about it. I do think it's a hell of a lot better than Boba Fett.
Yes.
It's better than season 3 of Mando so far.
Yes.
I haven't seen
Andor
yet.
I heard Andor is the
the
tip top.
the crown
I
jewel.
watched the
Yeah.
first 2 episodes of that. And I thought they were great.
Yeah.
I just didn't follow up because I was just like, I can't give any more of my time.
This one, it's interesting
Wars.
because it doesn't. I'm not excited to find out what's going on, and maybe who knows? Maybe when they actually do start going after Thrawn, that'll be interesting. But I am having a hard time being interested. That being said, it feels more Star Wars than a lot of them. I like that they have puppets rather than CGI a lot of the time. That's cool. That's Star Wars to me.
Puppets.
Puppets.
I mean, I think I don't know. I just can't, like, I was like thinking about it today, and I don't want to be that person that's like, oh, I used to love Star Wars, because in reality, you're a child. Your brain is mush. Like, you're gonna love things that might not be always great. But the thing is that when you look at the original Star Wars movies, like, those movies are within the pantheon of great cinema. All three of them, right? They all did something different. Like, one was like a great original that raised the bar from the sequel, and then the third one was how you not end trilogy. But even then, still good.
Yeah, a lot of good to take.
A lot of good for take away from it. But that's the thing, is that like, I used to love Star Wars, and for whatever reason, it's just, this is just another one for the pile. I just feel like, you know what I mean? I just can't find.
I'm not ready to say for the pile
attachment.
just yet.
Like, I just.
Mike, what do you think?
I'm more with you, Nick, on this. I liked it. It was better than it was much better than Boba Fett. It's a little like, I don't know. The thing I have with this and more of the recent things kind of that it's coming out with for like everything. I mean, it does feel like you're squeezing blood from a stone at this point, and to your point where it's like when we're bringing in new people that like these shows kind of cater to the existing fan base and the people that probably give a shit about some deeper things. And when you're doing that, it takes a while for it to build up and you get invested in that character unless you come out of the gate swinging. And I don't think any of these really ever do that. Any of these 3 episodes don't do that. We get some cool space battles. We get some cool lightsaber fights, but this one's like really heavily political with a lot of different things. And I know Star Wars itself always is, but I'm just like,
Star Wars.
I'm just like, let's fucking do something. I was like, please, like, you have 2 characters that could kind of be cool, and everybody's just sitting around blowing their cape in the wind. Like,
You know what, Mike?
Blowing their cape.
I'm glad you brought it up, because I'm glad you brought that up, because I felt like you feel every second of every minute of the pilot episode.
yes,
It
yes.
drags on forever and nothing happens. And like the honestly, I don't really give 2 shits about spoilers. It's fucking Star Wars streaming shit, okay? It's all the same
There's nothing
shit.
to spoil
There's
yet.
nothing to spoil here. It's another one of these, we got to find this thing.
We
that
gotta
shows
find the
us a
Sith
map
holocron that's gonna.
takes
It's the
us to this
Wayfinder.
place. It's just like, give me something to care about character-wise.
Yeah.
Tell me why this is important to the characters.
You know,
Tell me why this is so urgent. Like, and that's the thing. At the very least, like, I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but even Batman vs Superman gave a justification for what was going on. As poorly as it was, it gave some sort of urgency to the plot. And 3 episodes in, I just don't care. I just don't care. And I have, like, that's from the writing. It's shit. It's awful. I don't care. The Boys has one of the greatest pilot episodes ever. From that first episode, you give a shit about all the characters.
Yep.
Like, this is just another one, another Disney Plus show where I started it, and I watched what was available, and I was like, it's the same
Did you
garbage.
feel like there was a few sequences that we've had so far that felt like straight up video game gameplay? Like, there's the part where she's turning the tops of the pedestals and lining
Dude,
it up,
yes,
and a light
I thought
shines.
that.
And then there's the part where the other character, whose name I don't know, is turning the sides of the MacGuffin to make it match up. And it's like, this is video game.
It's also
logic. This is somebody completing a puzzle to get to the next phase.
It's also
Which
impressive.
is fine if you're doing it, but
Yeah.
if you're watching somebody do it, like, fuck that.
But it's also types of shit that is like impressive to children, and that is what Dave Filoni is great at, is doing Star Wars cartoons directed at children. And like that's why you have this younger generation behind us that's like, oh my god, Clone Wars and Rebels was like the shit, and like it was
Well, Clone Wars was pretty cool.
Was it really that good, or was it just quality enough and you were young enough? You know what I mean?
You were a youngling.
Like, and now he's got a crack at his own live action series all himself, and it ain't a great start. What do you think of Rosario Dawson?
I think she's fine. I don't feel one way or another about her.
Yeah, I think she's fine. It's just
I like her in general. Outside of this, I really like her as an actor.
I mean, she's dating Cory Booker, but whatever.
That's an
Just
interesting combo.
What is like? It's hard. Like it's hard to judge what she does. Like most of the time, she just sits there and she's like,
It's like Hayden Christensen. It's like you can't judge him for that acting. The dialogue was a disservice to him.
Plus, Anakin had a growth spurt, right, Mike?
we'll repost that clip on socials. It's so fucking stupid.
Great.
There was this scene in the beginning of the first episode. She's fighting a trio of droids, and very little is said. But it's a cool kind of battle sequence, and that where she's like up above and then down below, and to me it felt like a Samurai Jack sequence because little spoken and it was very visual. Some of the wire work was pretty bad, but other than that, I thought the sequence was really good, and to me, like that was the strongest part of it. Was like visually, this is impactful.
Yeah,
story wise and dialogue, not so much.
I will say
it's really interesting that you said that, because like from the Clone Wars, I get a lot of like that Samurai Jack type thing, and when you were talking about like him doing all the Clone Wars and everything like that in the cartoon for children, that's what came to my mind, and I was like, yeah, they're made for children, but people like love those. Yeah. They're like very, very well regarded.
The one thing that I think this Disney Plus series gets right, so I feel like my Star Wars experience growing up was very front loaded with Jedi shit. Like there was a shit ton, like the best parts of the original trilogy, they were like, let's put that all in the prequel trilogy. So when I grew up, it was fucking Jedis
politics.
Everywhere. Yeah. The one thing I always felt was
senators.
The one thing that I always felt was fucked up about the prequel trilogy was the lightsabers, or rather both the Trig and the prequel trilogy. I felt like they never figured out the weight of a lightsaber and how it because in the prequel trilogy, I'd say sometimes they move too fast. And in the sequel trilogy, they're just like clunky swords at some points. I mean, in the original trilogy.
I think the original is what you have to go off of. Whatever the physics is there, that's it.
Well, no, that's the thing, is that's actually something that I appreciate about the Disney Star Wars stuff, is that I feel like they figured out how lightsabers should move through 3D space.
And you notice the shape at the top? I know this is a nitpick, but it's not just like a perfect rounded circle. It's slightly oblong.
Yes, yeah.
And it's like, okay, that looks right.
Yeah. Ahsoka's are a little different though. Her shorter ones is just straight up. But that's fine. That's what gives them their characteristics. But the thing is that I feel like Disney got the weight of a lightsaber and how it's supposed to move through the air, and like
took them a few times.
Honestly, the best example of this I can give you would be The Last Jedi. There is the throne room fight scene. I feel like the way that those two Jedi, like the way that they're using their lightsabers, is a twist on traditional like Claymore like sword battle, but also Star Wars'd up. Like they actually move like real weapons as opposed to just like almost a dance.
Stick.
Almost a dance. You know what I mean? Specifically that scene where that one guy wraps his chain around a fucking lightsaber blade, and then he, wraps it around his torso and brings Adam Driver.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciated that. I feel like they have successfully gotten those physics for when Luke showed up in whatever in Mando season 2, and for Obi-Wan, and for specifically here. I feel like they got that shit right.
So Obi-Wan, they really overdid it with the LED lights. where everything was just like drenched in blue and red light. This one, they're still doing that, but it's way toned down and it's much better. It's like, yes, the lightsaber should emit light. No, it shouldn't feel like I'm at a rave.
Yes, I would agree. It also is I guess one of the other things is if like the weight, like when she was, it wasn't like she was just like she whipped out 2 lightsabers and she was just insane off the jump. Which I know Ahsoka can be fucking crazy, but it was just like once again, like it was just they took into consideration the physics of what they were trying to do, where I feel like that's a specific Dave Filoniism. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, this is feels more practical than the other stuff.
Yeah, I also think that's another Dave Filoni thing.
Well, I would say that's a good thing.
Yes, moving in the right direction. Well, okay. Honestly, I don't think practical just means better. I just think you shouldn't rely on CGI to be the crutch. You know what I mean?
But I mean, part of it also is the reason that Star Wars feels the way it does is because they were working around constraints that they had in the 70s and early 80s.
Yes.
So by now using that as part of the language, the visual language of the galaxy of Star Wars, makes it feel connected. Where the reason that the prequel trilogy didn't feel connected is because it's just like they're on a green screen.
Yeah.
None of the sets are real. Everything's pristine, and like George Lucas was genius. Like when he made a hangar bay, it's dirty and shit's going on, and there's boxes stacked up and people running around. Prequel didn't have that shit.
No, I agree, and it's also one of those things where like there's something in frame, there's something on camera. You know?
There's one anecdote from some behind the scenes thing where they're talking about there's a scene between Obi-Wan and Mace Windu, and it's like they're delivering important dialogue, and when they shot it, it was just them in a green screen, and they wind up just like slowly pacing through a hangar bay, where it's like if they had a real set, they could have acted and and like used this set to work the dialogue rather than just here's us slowly walking through a hangar bay.
Yeah.
So having practical sets, having puppets of the little creatures and shit, like that gives you with the actors more to work with, and you wind up having a better product because of it.
Yeah.
100%.
So I have a question for you guys. Do you guys think that lightsabers to the abdomen are fatal or not?
Yes, absolutely. They should.
Nah, dude. Do
you remember Qui-Gon Jinn? You remember Qui-Gon Jinn?
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's fucking like this is the second Star Wars.
Did he die for nothing?
This is the second Star Wars thing I've watched in a row where I mean, this once again, this is kind of Dave Filoni because remember Darth Maul, he got cut in half, but he lived. Of this, what's her name?
You can live without your pelvis down.
Ren, in this show, got stabbed through the gut by Ray Stevenson's apprentice, and what? That's the actor.
Yeah.
And then
I thought he looks like Kelsey Grammer.
that's who's it? Clancy Brown's in this
Clancy
too.
Brown playing another character in the Star Wars universe.
Mr. Krabs. And then and then Reva in Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
She got a lightsaber to the abdomen and was fine.
Oh, and then she did it. She stabbed one of the other Inquisitors, and didn't he live?
Yes. Oh, wait, and you want to know what's funny? In the very first scene of this show, they stab someone through the sternum, and that guy just dies.
Yeah.
So what happened?
He just plain dies.
So okay. Now, the way that I understood lightsaber wounds to work when I was a young lad was that the reason that it's so deadly is because that not only does it lop something off or cut into you badly, it cauterizes the wound immediately. So there is nothing you can do besides...
You're not reattaching that limb.
Besides replacing it with like cybernetics. Like that's what it always was. Or I guess droid, whatever the terminology is. But somebody actually... I think it was Critical Drinker did a video recently where he cited a comic book that once talked about how hot lightsabers can actually get, and it was something like 20 times the surface of something unreasonable, like hotter than the sun. And basically what would happen is that if somebody was stabbed with a lightsaber, it would basically, your body would combust immediately because the heat from the blade would cause all of the atoms in your cells to go off like a hydrogen bomb. So you would literally get hit. It was like, and just, yeah, exactly.
It would just touch your skin.
How would you even turn the thing on? So
Yeah.
either way.
So, yeah, science be damned.
Yeah, so science be damned. My whole thing is just that lightsaber stabs now mean nothing in
yeah.
Star Wars. And also the other thing I gotta let people know, people get haircuts for a new look, not character development. Okay?
You've clearly never been through a bad breakup.
Yeah, right.
This is
You've never been stabbed before.
this is now 2 Disney characters, at least I can count, that they get their shit rocked and then they come back with a new haircut and they kick ass, or they're the new version of themselves.
It's like in Mulan when she cuts her hair. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
No, Mulan cuts her fucking hair so everyone thinks she's a guy, Liz, not because she went through a breakup. Like, what do you say?
No, because
no,
that's not what I said.
She's a warrior now.
Yeah, she's a warrior now. That's
Because
it.
she has to look like a man to fit into the army. She did
Well,
it.
that's
She did it out of
shedding
necessity. She didn't cut her hair like, I'll show them. Like, that's not what she did.
It's a
Incorrect.
metaphor.
Who's the other person that changed their hair?
That would be Brie Larson, Captain Marvel. She had
No,
long.
I think you said
But
in
you-
the Star
there's-
Wars.
you said there was
property.
No,
two.
Disney property.
That doesn't
Oh.
count.
It absolutely does. It is a Disney property.
But she went from did she cut her hair during Captain Marvel, or did she cut her hair? I don't remember Captain Marvel.
And also, wasn't there a time jump?
You guys, what are all these caveats? She
It
cut her
doesn't matter.
fucking
We're
hair.
talking about Star Wars.
She cut her fucking hair.
Also, Anakin cut off his little dirty rat tail.
Well, because he
No,
no
that
longer
count?
was an apprentice.
No, Nick.
Character development.
He was burned alive on the side of a volcano while screaming.
He had a mullet at that point.
It looked damn good.
Tomato.
I don't care so much about that. That's just her going, I'm ready to go to work, rather than whatever the fuck she's been
It's
doing.
just-
You know what?
Let's get
You know
down
what
to
I like.
business.
You know what I like. Yeah, let's get down to business. I have a note here from the 3rd episode. It would have been nice if Rey ever did any training like this. Just show any type of training of her becoming a Jedi.
See, I get it. Like, I get why people would feel that certain type of way, but I didn't want to watch another fucking Star Wars movie of another Jedi training. Like, I just
All
didn't
they have to
wanna
do is
see
allude
that.
to it. They showed fucking Luke tickling her with a palm leaf and be like, "Oh, that's the Force tickling your hands."
It's called subversion, Nick.
Oh, that's true. I wouldn't get it.
Yeah, yeah, Nick. Why don't you play 100 games of how to make a 100 hours of how to make a fucking movie, and then call up Ryan Johnson?
You want to hear some more notes that I have? I have one that
do.
says,
Of course I do.
"This dude is a literal knight."
Who?
That guy who's dressed like a medieval
The
knight.
Inquisitor guy.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he is. They don't explain it.
Someone says that you're gonna find out his identity
Sure.
in the next episode,
Oh,
and people are
Marrow
saying,
or whatever his name
Is
is.
it Ezra Bridger?
and the people are saying that it's possibly Anakin, and I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. No, it isn't.
I have another note that says, "What is with this particle hologram? Let's keep holograms how they've always been. They should always be blue. There should never be any other colors in fucking holograms,
True.
and they shouldn't be particle based. It's some type of
take.
laser light." Yes, Liz. What,
It's a projector.
I was just really enthralled by this commentary on holograms. I don't know why that captured me so
they're
much.
sticking other colors in the holograms. They're always blue. They should just be blue.
See,
Turning
this is-
all the fucking frogs
You know-
gay.
They're turning the freaking frogs gay. You know what's funny about this, Mike, is that all the things that I've mentioned so far were like problems with the story, the characters, the dumb writing decisions, the idiotic, already played out character tropes of the genre. And Nick's like, the fucking holograms better be blue.
All right. Well, here's another one for you. What's with the wolf mural?
Okay, see, you said
Oh,
this
yeah.
stuff, like, okay. It does kind of come out of nowhere.
And why does it look like a kid painted an anime mural? I mean, I know it is based off of Rebels. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
All right.
The motorcycle chase scene with the rock music in the background that's
Yo.
shot like an anime sequence. I'm like, what the
Dude.
fuck is happening?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's shot like Akira.
Yeah.
Like, I
I
literally that was happening. I was like, we're supposed to think she's cool.
She's badass.
Look at her. Look
Here's
at that
here's
hair.
the funny part.
She listens to rock.
I heard that song and I realized I think Invincible season 2 I think dropped.
Did it drop?
Wait, did it?
I think so, and it was one of those things. Oh no, November 3rd.
Ricky Bobby.
They put something out recently, or they put like an Eve Adam like short out or something just to fill in her character. And somebody mentioned to me in a Teams call that they really liked the rock song that was playing in the background, and they sent me the music and everything, right? And I checked it out. This scene was so fucking boring that when that started, my first thought was, oh, I gotta check out that thing from Invincible. That there's rock music in the back of that. Like,
I like how they got
As
this.
deep as it was.
yeah.
They got this big long road. Not a single other vehicle
Yes.
anywhere
Yes.
on the road.
Yes. And like that's the thing is like, which is weird because you think of like the truck heist that they did in Mando season 2, and it's just like that's honestly like a true Star Wars car chase, you know. And then you watch this and you're like, oh, they can't top it. They can't figure it out.
It's one of the points where you could tell they were working with a smaller budget, and it's
Yeah.
just like don't. This scene is unnecessary. Also, it doesn't feel very Star Wars. It feels like Mike said, like Akira.
We
Kira's
don't
good.
have money to CGI cars.
What else do I
Kira's
have?
good.
I have from the end of episode 1 too many cuts and small scenes. Like they were cutting away for one line of dialogue and would cut
Well, that
back
would,
to what they were doing and then cut. But it's just like just tell whole scenes.
well, that would be because they wrote and shot these really long scenes, but gave zero context to any of the new viewers. So then they would just be like, "Oh, there's dialogue from this scene that we can take and put and just cut it in the middle." Because I noticed that too.
That's bad
And
writing.
and that was one of those things. I was like, "Oh my god, they're doing inserts." I go,
Yep.
they are literally this is YouTube quality shit right now. Like they're doing fucking insert like.
Hey, this is editor Dave Filoni. I just wanted to mention, I forgot to mention it earlier.
Yeah,
You need to
exactly.
know this.
And of course, like always in the video, the YouTuber looks like absolutely camera ready, but when they're editing, because like they look like they've just
Yeah.
been smoking crack.
I was just about to post this
Yeah.
later today, and I just realized.
I got this plug up my ass. I really got to get it out before I post this video.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
The biggest thing for me, I'm just like, I think you said it, Pat, where it's like the whole threat is war. I'm like, great, that doesn't fucking affect any character on screen right now in like a way that I care about.
there's also
like,
something.
What are the stakes of war that's going to affect you?
War,
like,
Nick.
Like, remember
War.
when Luke's aunt and uncle were scorched into skeletons?
It's also one of those things where it's like it's obvious the people that you guys know who the Green Lady is.
The
Yeah.
actress?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Ramona Flowers.
No.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what I said today.
Yep.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead?
Yes.
Yeah.
She was saying like Thrawn is wherever, and they've tied it to like this personal thing, right? It's like, oh well, we can't keep
With
giving
Ezra,
you
yeah,
Republic funds to
go chase after
go
Ezra.
chase out, go chase.
I keep wanting to say Ezra Miller.
yeah.
Damn it.
You know what's funny? We said his name so much for like a year, and then we haven't said it once. Since
Well,
that
the Flash
movie
is
came out.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it came and went.
Flash in the pan, baby.
Yeah, it lost them
Nice.
like after all said and done, like $320 million.
Good.
They lost on that guy. I hope they learned their lesson. And Blue Beetle just broke even. So
Blue Beetle.
go.
Well, but not on marketing.
yeah, not on marketing yet.
Although they probably have a pretty small marketing budget.
That's why nobody
based
saw
on
it.
the-
That's why nobody saw it.
The SAG strike.
The SAG strike, but also, I think that's a victim of burnout as well.
Yes.
So anyway, back to the thing we were talking about.
Yeah. Wait. What were we just saying? I was just about to.
Ramona Flowers.
Oh yes.
Oh, we're looking for.
We're not giving you money to go
Ezra.
chase ghosts. It's just like yeah, but you mentioned fragile peace before this, and I'm going to stop that. And when they were like, we don't want to risk anything. I thought it was a really strong character moment when she was like, where were you during the war? Like, which side were you on? Did you just sit and watch it all play out? I was like, okay, some genuinely interesting writing from, and then we went right back to business as usual. I was like, God,
all right, well,
damn
let's
it.
go follow that little map.
Literally, it's like, well, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I thought that was cool. And then, but it's also one of those things where it's like, well, they're paid off, or one of them is the guy, or one of them knows the guy.
Did you think the people who worked in the dockyard being like loyalists? I thought that was kind of cool. Also, like a little like political intrigue.
But this is what we've been talking about for years. Is about like that. I want to see what the fallout of the Empire falling and what years that does. Like, I'm tired of like, war's gonna break out if I don't find this rock and put it in a fucking microwave or something. You know what I mean? Like,
and then line up the rock perfectly so it shines a light on that piece of metal.
Yeah, exactly. And then I find this fucking orb, and then the orb tells me where Luke is, and I get there, and he throws my fucking light. Like,
and then I gotta take this thing that I found on an old Empire ship, and it lines up perfectly if you hold it, and I know I gotta go stand there.
Yeah. And now I gotta drive a boat, which I grew up on a desert planet. How I do that?
Not my forte.
Yeah, and so that's kind of my thing. It's just like, I'm done with the whole let's saddle up and go on an adventure. I don't care about it's lazy. I don't care about Star Wars just because it's Star Wars. I want you to give me something to sink my teeth into character-wise. Yeah. And you 100%. You would think they learned with The Last of Us. The Last of Us Part 1, The Last of Us television show is a faithful recreation because it's not a one-to-one reenactment of the video game. It is faithfully retells the story for a new medium while keeping the spirit of the original game alive, which was story and characters, not gameplay, which, you know, is kind of harsh to say, but it's the truth. And here they just can't see. You'd think they'd look at that and then look at their shows and be like, how do we do that here?
A lot of these things have been in the works for a long time, and it was kind of too late to pump the brakes.
I'm sure they talked about it.
We can hope better for the future, especially with, Bob Iger basically saying, we've fucked up for the last few years. We're slowing production down. Oopsie.
I will say, I actually just did watch a clip of the director of The Last of Us talking about how the reason that there's less zombies in the TV show as opposed to the video game is because death in video games is not permanent, and you have to add that risk in a TV show, and you have to make people care about the characters so that when they die, you continue to give a shit about the show. Yeah. So while you guys are talking about how, this person gets stabbed, they may or may not die, there's not that risk. There's not that permanence of the characters dying.
I don't disagree, but then I also think of it from the angle of so the Russo brothers, when they directed Civil War, somebody asked them, was there ever a character that you guys were going to kill off in Civil War? And they said, absolutely not, because death was too easy at that point.
You see what we did to Quicksilver? Easy.
No, that was Joss Whedon.
Oh, sorry.
But that was, and I thought that was a smart response because it's we were given carte blanche to kill any of these Avengers in Civil War, but the reason that we didn't was because people would have been expecting that. What they weren't expecting for us to do was paralyze Rhodey. That is what, and I was like, that's fucking genius. For Infinity War, they did the same thing. How did you choose who you were going to kill? Well, obviously they wanted to set up Endgame to be a movie about the 6 original Avengers, so that's why, it's kind of coincidence that the 6 original are still around. But the way that they approached it was just we were given a list, and we were we'd here's who you can take and here's who you can't.
At what point does Black Widow die?
Black Widow dies in Endgame.
In Endgame? Okay, I wasn't sure if that was
no
prior.
Zoe
to
Saldana dies.
Oh, that's who I'm thinking of.
But so anyway, I think at the point of even if I don't think necessarily adding permanent death to these shows with characters would make it inherently better. You know what I mean?
It's just don't do something that would inherently kill them and then make them live through it. put them in
It's just-
situations, put them near death, but then don't stab them through the gut with a laser sword, and then it doesn't mean anything 5 minutes later.
Yes, exactly.
Well, no, the robots fixed her. It's just like it's lazy writing, and I think what you said, I think Pat, you said it, where the laziest possible. Like, I want to see the struggling New Republic. Like, I want to see the fallout of the Empire losing power, and then like
I want
all
to
of
see
this
the
coming
power
back.
vacuum. I want to see
Yeah,
the fucking,
because literally
the outer,
what they did is they explained it as, oh yeah, we just kept everybody having the jobs they had anyway, and that's it. That's how we fixed it. Of course, there's
like, I want to see the Empire no longer orders weapons from this outpost of people. So now they're broke, and now they are rebellious against the New Republic. You know what I mean? How do those fucking people live? I want to see a section of, for instance, I think we will get this, so I might be shooting myself in the foot here. I want to see a rogue empire like general or commander that still has his ship and his crew somewhere out in the galaxy.
We see a little bit of that in the beginnings of Mandalorian, where there's Jason Sudeikis. Like there's still some stormtroopers out there doing shit. But
But I mean, like, maybe even in like a section of like these guys are live and die.
Now
by
they're
their
like
commander.
pirates.
Yeah, exactly, something like that. So that's the direction I would like to see Ahsoka, or I'd like to see any of these Star Wars shows go.
It'd be interesting to see
Seriously.
anything that doesn't have anything to do with the New Republic or Jedi. Anything else?
So you know what? I'm not there yet. I think there should be stories about Jedi. They should be more well written. That's what I think.
And they should take place
I think
outside
they-
of the 60 years that we already know.
Yes, and not only that,
they should be micro.
other
They should
places.
be micro stories,
They should
not
micro those.
macro galactic wars.
Yes. I almost thought you were gonna say that. Yeah, they should be like 6 episodes, and I was gonna be like, no, what the fuck are you saying? But
No.
they should be
Give
personal.
me the
That's what
give
they
me the
should be.
Confederate oil drilling people on this meteorite, like you said, that are pissed because now they no longer have the Empire contract.
Yeah,
And, like,
exactly.
show me that shit.
I want to see, even though it's still the Republic, but like the Republic stomping out and putting in puppet dictators on different planets and shit, and that blows up in their face. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, remember they don't like politics in their Star Wars.
They like politics. It
No.
just it's got to be sanitized.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's just gotta. It's just
You're
gotta
you're
not be
either
obvious.
you're either perfect, you're a perfect leader, or you're a Nazi, and that's it.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no in between.
But I'm saying the sweaties. The sweaties were like, she's got purple hair. It's political.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck are you talking
Well, that's
about?
it's just like you could be mad that that's
it's
just
got orange
not
skin.
Princess
Like, we're really gonna
Leia.
Yeah, you could be mad that it's just weird. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you could be upset that it's just like, hey man, and I maybe her hair could be brown and not cut it. You know what I mean? That's a fair criticism. If that's what we're saying.
Don't write
But if
in a
you're
new
like-
character just to sacrifice themselves when you could take a legacy character and make them do the sacrifice play.
Yeah. But see, that's justification. That you can be upset over that.
Yeah.
I'm saying don't just be like, she has purple hair. This is political garbage. I'm not watching it.
I'm out.
Yeah. Fuck this.
I'm done.
So,
All
what are we talking? So, do we like Ahsoka? I thought it was pretty. I thought it was pretty good.
No,
I'd give
see,
it like a
that's-
6.5 or 7.
I'd give this like a 5. If
Okay.
I gave Boba Fett like a 4, I'd give this like a 5.5. I'll say 5.5.
Boba Fett started out and it had potential, and then it was a complete dumpster fire by the end.
Yes.
Once they showed up with those fucking 1960s mod scooters, I was like, this show is going downhill.
I love how there's 6 episodes of a show and 2 of them Boba Fett's just not in. There's just 2 episodes of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then the big,
Green bath time.
yeah, bath time. So that show,
Oh, that's right. That was my major criticism. This show takes place in between trips to the bath.
I need you all to go and look at the I clicked on the Rotten Tomatoes score, but you need to see David Filoni's pictures in there. So just as like so we know, on Rotten Tomatoes right now, this is sitting at an 87.
Is it just him wearing a cowboy hat? Because he always wears a cowboy hat. That's his thing.
Yes, you need to see them though. And then the average audience score is 73%. So it doesn't seem like anyone is too optimistic about this.
I can't believe that this is an 87% right now. Like, who the fuck is reviewing this garbage? Like,
we need another solid episode to like really.
Yeah.
87?
I'm like, give me one more before I like,
Hold on, let's see.
put this in the
Okay,
trash
that makes more sense.
Yeah.
That I still think that's a little bit too high, but
It's generous, but
it does make more
it's still early.
Yeah.
But let's go see Dave Filoni in his cowboy hat.
Where's Dave Filoni?
If you just click on the top, he's listed as the director.
The two back
we
to
got
back.
two
But
next.
you need to click on it. You need to look at the
There
two,
she is.
the two listed photos of him. There's one with like a Yoda statue.
That's Skywalker Ranch.
He caught that himself, you guys. Him in his fucking hat.
It's good eating.
It's Karen.
Wait, go back. I want to see
You
the
guys
other
ever
one.
had Chicha Yoda?
This
that-
looks like he just got
God.
it. Like this looks like he just got into college.
Yeah, it does.
He looks like a dating
He looks like
profile
Tom
for a divorced
Segura.
dad.
He does. He does look like Tom Segura.
This looks like 30-year-old Tom Segura.
Yes.
It does. Yeah, you're right.
Pull up young Tom Segura. Now we need to do it. I'm gonna stop saying his name. I've already said it too many times.
He's
It's
gonna like
the guy.
pop up in the room.
Yeah, it's like the guy who fixed your
it's
car.
like Pat's car dealer.
Yep.
You don't want that fucking guy. being in
Here it. Fattest thing you. That one. Where it literally says TikTok fattest thing you whatever.
This one?
No.
Which one are you pointing at?
Middle row.
Mm-hmm.
Next one over.
This one? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It's pretty damn close.
Here. Oh yeah.
There's some
He just
resemblance.
Googled fat Tom Segura.
Kind of. Yeah, I could see it.
That's close.
All right. So yeah, Ahsoka's a bust, everybody.
That's not our consensus.
That's
Yeah,
my
we
consensus.
get one more
That's-
episode, and then I'll trash it. Or
How
not.
many episodes are there? 9? This is another 9.
I'm
fucking
gonna assume it's
knows?
probably 6.
If they're smart.
8.
Okay,
All right.
there'll be 8.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
give it a couple more episodes before we pass judgment. Mike and I are not. Liz, you have any thoughts?
I watched
and I
like
are
an
not Liz.
episode and a half. So
Okay. So
She was like, yeah, I'm going to get a tattoo today. I was like, we have to watch 3 hours of Star Wars content, right? And she goes, oh, well, do you want to watch it now? And this was last night. I was like, no. Like, I'm not starting this at 11 o'clock. Like, she's like, well, I'm going to get a tattoo.
when everything's said and done with the credits and the intro sequence, it's not 3 hours.
I always forget about that with like, but
I watched the third episode. It was like 30 minutes.
Yeah. It's listed as like 45, but without the credits, it's yeah. Let's do clip
Let's
of the
do
week.
it.
We
Oh yeah, it's the clip of the week. Oh, it's the clip of the week. It's the clip of the week.
Pat, this is a good looking clip.
This is a great looking clip.
It's
Where is
so
this?
much
Croatia?
better than you're expecting.
Yeah, this is Russia, right?
Yeah, this is somewhere where they definitely have rolling blackouts. Like,
California.
You guys think he'll make it?
Oh,
All right. Oh,
oh, they're moving. That's a good sign.
wow.
Dude, not
He's
a single
okay.
airbag was deployed.
like
He
there's
should
no
not have
way His
lived.
face isn't swollen. Like, I'm sorry. Like, also, I
My
love
God.
how he definitely misses putting it into gear. Because listen how high the engine red lines before he actually gets some gas behind it.
Oh my god.
Yo,
I
honestly,
need a translation of that.
I don't know how they got the car up to the roof.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Is that a
I was
parking
like-
garage?
Maybe
It looks like the building looks too old
It looks
for it
like
to be.
abandoned Section 8 housing is what it looks like.
On
But,
top of a mountain.
Here's the thing: is that so he's actually lucky that he hit the building this way, because not only did it kind of stop his momentum, and
It like flipped the car back.
and completely nosedive into the ground. It made the car land on its
On its
axles,
wheels, yeah.
Which
Yeah.
like obviously like didn't save the car, but it definitely probably took,
Saved his life.
takes a hit better than
I mean, I'm
your
gonna say-
fucking engine block.
That car does not have any airbags. So if that's like a car from like the 90s, it's probably built like a full ass brick.
Oh,
so
the 90s wasn't like you're talking about cars from like the 70s.
I don't think so. That
No,
looks
cars
more
from
modern.
the 70s fucking crumbled
No,
on
they
impact.
didn't.
That shit
dude.
was
No. That's the difference between cars now and cars from like the 70s, was that those things were basically boats. Like you destroyed everything you hit, but it'd be like my family.
Mike, do you remember there's a scene in Back to the Future 2 where Marty and Doc are flying over Biff Tannen's car, and Marty says, why don't we just land on him and crush him? And Doc's like, no, you can't do that because this car is made out of stainless steel. That car's gonna rip through us like tissue paper.
Yeah.
Those cars back then were fucking indestructible.
Yeah.
yeah.
right.
And I
Okay,
only know
yes.
that because it's referenced in Back to the Future Part 2.
All right, let's
Right.
do one more.
Can we watch him crawl out?
Dude, you know
Yeah,
where this
yeah,
was? This is in Severny.
It is for lovers. Yeah, when these
I
guys
wish-
were done here today, they went and wrestled a bear. And
I
then went
wish there
home.
was 5 more seconds of video where he just gets out of the car, looks up, and gives a thumbs up.
I know.
Yeah, his
I'm-
legs are just
And then just
jello.
drops.
that's
He's got a
impressive.
compound fracture in his clavicle or
I
something.
don't know.
Yeah,
He's
it's
he's moving good.
That's just the adrenaline, Nicholas.
That's true. All
Yeah.
right. Well, on
right.
that,
Well, with that said, we will see you all next week, and until that time,
stay hydrated.
you have a this is a threat. Stay hydrated. You have a blessed week. You have a blessed week. Blessed Press Anarchy week. All right, we'll see you next week. Goodbye.